Welcome back to the channel, folks. Today we're going to do an unboxing and a review of the TRN X6. The X6 here has 6 drivers per side, 6 balanced armatures per side. There's no dynamic driver. Quite a while back I reviewed the TRN V80, I think it was, which is a quad driver. That one had a dynamic, or maybe 2 dynamics and 2 BAs, I can't remember. But that was a very good earphone. Except for one thing, which was a peak in the lower treble, if I remember correctly, which just sort of threw everything out of whack, but it was so close to being brilliant. A lot of people still ended up liking it anyway. But today we've got the X6, so let's get to it. So that's it, guys, that's what you get. A warranty card, a user manual, quality control check, I'm guessing. You get 3 tiny pairs of ear tips, which are useless. For me, I mean, but for anyone else they'll be fine. And one of these cables, we'll have a look at that in a minute. And the earphones look nice, quite nice, interesting faceplate design, nice clear shells, but closer look at that in a minute. Looks like a pretty standard cable, 3.5mm straight plug, little TRN there. It's a braided cable. It's a little bit stiff, but thankfully it doesn't have any major kinks in it. It's got the little Y split there, just a plain aluminium Y split. No chin slider. Plastic 2-pin connectors on the top with little left and right markings there. And I'm sweating all over my table here. Right here are the earpieces. They look very nice. TRN on the faceplate. You can see the balanced armature drivers and the internal wiring there. Really nice. The shape is common to all the ones, all the multi-BA and hybrid IEMs that we've seen lately. The BGVP DM7, the DM6 was like this. So many others I can't remember right now. The Fearless ones are like this. 3 bores in the nozzle, interesting. There is a little bit of a lip there. So yeah, not much else to say about that. But they do look really nice. I hope they sound as good. Oh, they're actually got TRN branding on the balanced armature driver there. I don't know if these are Knowles or Belsing or Sonyan, but probably Belsing. Anyway, I shall go and listen to these for a few days and report back with what I hear. Okay guys, here is the TRN X6. I've been listening for a few days. I've actually just posted my recent review, so you can check that out as well. The link is down below in the description. First of all, build quality is really nice. As you can see, it is a really nice looking IEM. The build quality, I can't complain about that at all. It's really nicely done. Comfort wise, they're also very good. I can wear these for hours at a time without any problems. So no problem there. When it comes to the sound though, not so great. The first thing I noticed was the really unusual tuning that this earphone has. It sort of focuses squarely on the mid-range. It's got this massive peak in the mid-range, and everything else, the treble and the bass, is just pushed way back. And it's really unusual. On top of that, the sub bass falls off fairly steeply. Actually, the difference between the sub bass at 20 Hz and the mid-range peak, which is about 1 to 2.5 kilohertz, the difference between those is about 17 to 18 decibels.
Warning.
Some of you will know what I'm talking about, and some of you won't, but that's just crazy. Nobody's going. You just can't. I don't know what else to say about it. You just can't do that. So yeah, the sub bass falls off really hard. You can barely hear any sub bass. It doesn't have any power. Doesn't rumble. The mid bass is lacking as well. Not quite as badly, but it has very little weight and it doesn't really have any authority. On the bright side, the bass is fast, and there's definitely no bass bloat. And the mid-range, yeah, well, the mid-range is the star of the show, naturally, but it's just really weird. It's got this massive peak, like I said, at 1 to 2.5 kilohertz, and that one peak sort of dominates the entire presentation. Everything else is pushed behind that. It does work okay for some acoustic music and sometimes vocals, but I just find it really strange, and I also find it very fatiguing. I had to listen at low volume the whole time, otherwise it was just too much for my brain to handle. But apart from that one fairly narrow peak in the mid-range, the rest of it suffers along with the rest of the spectrum. Everything sits behind that peak, and it's just doesn't make any sense. I don't even know how they got this past the testing stage. You know, you would think. Well, I would think that 1 or 2 or 3 people, factory workers, staff members, whatever, would have had a chance to listen to these and said right away, and no, that ain't right. That isn't good. But what's the deal? Are they all yes men, or you know, what's going on? How do these things reach market when they're so bad? I just don't get it. Have I covered the treble? No, the treble's fine. It's pushed behind the mid-range. Hi-hats and cymbals sound natural enough, but like everything else, they just get pushed to the back behind that peak. Soundstage, nothing special about the soundstage, despite the fancy tuning. It's sort of, the stage is dominated by the central image, which is usually vocals or in some cases instruments, but usually vocals there. Everything's sort of centered around that. And all the other sounds are spread to the left and right. There's no depth, there's no layering there. It's just all about this one central image. I'm not going to compare this with anything else because, to be honest, I'm just straight up do not recommend it. Actually, I recommend that you do not go out and buy these because there are so many better options out there. There are several $20 earphones that I would recommend over these, and these are going for like about $70, I think, $65 or $70, and that's outrageous. I wouldn't even recommend these for $20. So, yeah. Consider giving this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more earphone and headphone reviews like this. Plenty more on the way. And until next time, I'll see you later.